Mike, a couple of things. This time last season, the FIBA break, you came out of it and it didn't go too well for you. Do you acknowledge that? Do you mention it? What have you done differently?
Yeah, absolutely not. There was a whole bunch of things that happened before the FIBA break that probably led into that, but we've got a whole totally different group. It's a totally new season. Um, it's just a different group. I want to give this group the proper respect and attention this group deserves, and where we are as a team.
Brisbane are going to be a largely unknown quantity to you. They'll have two imports you haven't played against before.
Yeah.
They're going to have two starter-level players, probably the two guys most likely to guard Bryce. How do you prepare with all those unknowns?
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot like the beginning of the season. They have a very talented group. We haven't seen them play together as a team, but we know their talent individually. We know how hard they'll play. There's some characteristics with their personnel that, we'll be able to identify, and then we'll just have to kind of play the game, sort of like at the beginning. But we have a ton of respect for them and who they are and how they've been playing, and we also know the talent that they've added to their group.
So would you look at this as a danger game to your team?
It's always a danger game, right? I think that, for us, we got to focus on our team, and we got to focus on our group and our collective resolve and, what we want to do. That's what we've been trying to do here over the break. But, you want to play well, and you want to play well at home, and those are key factors in this league, and, starting the right way would be huge.
Just on your preparations during the break, Flynn Cameron's been largely absent with his national team duties with New Zealand. Have you replaced him in terms of if you scrimmage or what you do with a player, or have you mixed and matched in terms of his role?
Yeah, we're always trying to kind of grow the group, So, he was out for a while because he was with his national team, and those things are part of it. And, we had some very, very good practices, and there was times that we needed other guys to play a much more dominant role in practice. So, we've had the ability to have a couple of days here with Flynn being back, and the group's comfortable with Flynn and we're comfortable with him. And so, it's pretty much seamless adding him back into the group.
So it wouldn't necessarily preclude him from holding his start?
Yeah, no, not at all.
You've had two different lineups your last two games. Isaac White came in for the last one. Prior to that, it was Matt Kenyon, and earlier it was DJ.
Yep.
What are your ideas going into this game in terms of the starting?
Yeah, I think that I think I've got 9 guys that potentially could start. I think I've got a really, really deep roster and of 11 that I really like. It's hard to play 11. I think that we'll see different lineups throughout the year, to be honest with you. I think that there's different ways to go about it, and for me to keep moving the group forward and growing the group, and whether we start, whether we come off the bench, part of the bridge group, part of the closing group, part of the starting group, there's a lot of different combinations. I will definitely experiment with different lineups and different combinations through this whole middle third of the year.
And in terms of your focus as the coach, when you've got this interrupted sort of period of a couple of weeks, did you decide we're going to do A, B, and C, or I need to do, or anything specific you can share?
Yeah, I think, we had a pretty laid out plan that we laid out in August when we saw the schedule, and then we look at it in September to see where we're at. And, then you kind of always kind of adjust it. But we had a very detailed plan, the way we wanted to try to, get a little rest. We took 3 days off after the Southeast game, and then we came back together and practiced, and then had a little more rest. And it's been very thought out, ton of, recognition to Tristan, our support staff, our trainers, where we wanted to be. And I think we're healthy. I think that we're in a good spot to start this, middle third of the season.
And I know you focus on the game coming up, but obviously you've got 2 games in this round, and the next one in Perth is obviously a big one for Bryce. How much attention do you give to that? Do you leave him to his own devices? How do you approach that scenario?
Yeah, we're just totally focused on Brisbane and what we need to do first. I think the whole group is, to be honest with you. Those are all things that you guys can talk about and debate. And there'll be different debates if we don't, play well on Friday night. And with a week or 10 days off, the focus is totally on us and trying to get our offensive and defensive rhythm back and playing well at home. And, you see some teams that'll come out of the break and really have a rhythm, and some teams it takes a little while. We want to make sure that we're not one of the teams that we're trying to play catch up. and we want to, hit the game right with the right rhythm and the right pace and the right focus, and handle our business on Friday night is the whole focus, and then we'll think about the next one.